Sorry guys, I'm going to change this up. There we go. Welcome, YouTube. Let me lower this music so I don't get copyright stricken. Yeah, we got our little walk cycle ready. I'm about to show you how I move this guy from one screen to the other. I'm probably going to have him stop about this way because this is where he's supposed to meet up with Chuck, so to say. So, what we'll do is, this is how I have my nodes set up, right? This is my whole walk cycle. This is all the layout stuff that I have in the background. I have this master pig up here. I'm going to delete that, pretend we don't have it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to group this whole section here, because that's how I do it. And I keep forgetting I have my graphics card set up just with random crap. All these other little animations that are coming after this should be fairly easy. Normally I would make a master peg for these guys and then a secondary peg just in case I got to move a little bit of stuff around here and there. Same thing with these torsos or whatever. Sometimes you can create envelopes for them, but I'm going to keep it simple, short and sweet. So we're just going to create a peg here and then a peg outside just in case. So Control P. Oops. Cut this off first, I forget. Cut all these guys. Alright, I'm gonna grab all these guys here. I might be Control Shift H, I think. Is it H? H or P? Yeah, because then they have their own little individual ones, but we're not gonna set that up right now. We're gonna set everyone up to the bottom because we like where he is. So here, Control P. He has his master peg. He's gonna go to his output here. Boom. And then this guy is going to the super master peg, which is what I'm going to call it, and we'll connect it here. You want to keep organized, so we're going to have to do super master, and then, oh yeah, let me make sure that I label this peg just in case we do any effects later. I'll probably get into effects like way later, but right now I want to get all the goodies in here, so to say. And we'll just do sub peg. I may need to add more pegs on these other guys. They all have their own drawing peg, but we're not going to focus on that right now. What we're going to do is we're going to move everything through this master peg, which should make things a little easier to maneuver. So go here, click this guy here, the cross. He's going to tell you where the peg is. So we're going to place his master peg. Make sure you hover over him because he'll try to move if you're not. We're going to put him right in the center of our guy, right? Boom, like that. So now when you go into animation, your peg's already set up where that peg is, right? And you don't want him moving around. You want it just right where he is, and this is where we're going to create our keyframes. So now, all things being said, we're going to move him from one side to the other. We'll start this with him coming in the screen right here. I'll start off screen so it's a little bit more natural. I want a nice little fade in. And at the end of our sequence over here, we're going to put him on our landing spot where we want him to be. So I have clipping on too for with the magnet, so he's going to stay where he wants. If you wanted to do that too, you could also, I think it's shift, keeps you from moving everywhere. We're going to stop him like over here. And as he passes, that's where he's going to see his friend and all the drama is going to happen. So now to connect these two, we can just connect them like this. You push this little button here, it sets the motion frames, and then he's just going to gradually slide across. And you may think we're done, but let me show you something. Let me show you something. We're not done just yet because it's not going to look as smooth with just these pegs. So trip out. Blah blah blah. Get this guy set up. While this guy's getting set up, I am going to be doing some t-shirt reviews on awkward styles. The recent ones they have up are pretty good, but they didn't quite encompass the experience that I got. So I'm going to do an honest review on Awkward Styles. They have two types of t-shirt prints. They have film, I think it's DTF, which is direct to film prints, which is kind of like the whole iron-on vinyl thing. And then they also have some direct to garment, which goes through like a printer process, which is pretty cool. But I'm washing them. I'm doing my regular testing with washing, wearing, working out in them. It's actually helping me feel a little bit better in terms of finding time to exercise or whatever. But aside from that, I am definitely going to put this nice review about them out. We'll say mildly honest review. I'm going to go through their customer service experience. I'm going to go and try to cover as much details that vendors are trying to encompass in their experience. Aside from that, back to this. I'm going to show you why this whole thing is kind of janky. Watch. So see he's walking, and it looks okay to the naked eye, right? The reality is he's not moving in the velocity of his feet. So it's like he's walking, but it's not really doing much. Like this is a lazy portion of the animation. We'll get into some complex noting right now. So that being said, this is what it does when you just drag him across the street. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to move him as he walks, right? And I'm going to place a peg. If you look, when he's walking, there's a point before his foot stops and touches the ground. So I'm going to place a peg there, right? And then I'm going to continue again. So it's not going to be here where he moves. It's going to be there. So we're going to place another peg, right? Now from this peg to this peg, we're not gonna separate these pegs, right? So here, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna mark this frame here. This is his cycle where he stops again. Scene marker or mark frame, and here. So these are the marks where he's stopping. We go up here a little bit. You can see it a little better. That's a little too much right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here. Or actually, no, not delete that one. I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to stop the motion. So I'm going to push this button to prevent it from tracking that motion, right? And then I'm going to go here. I'm going to start it again, and then I'm going to continue, right? So when he moves, he's only moving when he steps. And we want him to lean in a little bit when he steps. So I'm gonna move this guy up. Maybe let's Control Z that a little bit. I might move this marker here because that's where he's actually stepping again. So we'll place another marker here. Get rid of this guy. And as he stops for this frame, this is where he's moving again, and we're going to place it there. So for one frame, he's not moving. And then we continue the movement, right? So instead of copy, pasting, whatever, we're going to go through this individually, and for every frame that we have that's like our whatever frame or drag frame, we're going to continue that cycle process. So for me, I find the only way to do this, I'm sure there's another easier way, because otherwise he's just going to be cycling through the same spot. Like if I do this, watch, copy here, sorry, here, and if I place this every like walk cycle, it'll kind of do its thing where it's like it's gonna do the same motion, but it's gonna stop and rotate on this guy over and over again. Like let me show you what I'm talking about. What I'm trying to talk about, so to say. We got this guy here, right? let's just say our cycles, where's our walk cycle? Keep our cycles over here on the walk cycle. This is the walk cycle change. And it repeats every, like after here. It starts over here, right? So let's say we have these guys copied and you pasted them here for every cycle. He's just gonna keep going back over and over again. So now that we know that this guy's here, we're gonna know that our walk cycle stops like every, I guess it would be this guy right here, right? Sorry, if your peg moves, it's because I'm on the drawing peg. I'm not on the actual master peg. Super master is what I called it. So I believe it was stop there. Pick up here. Continue. I'm sure I could do this with the Control K and F6. So I can scrub through this. F6. F6. Control K. Boom. So now when he walks, see how much more natural that looks? He's not just gliding across, you know. He's going to stop, 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 velocity. And we're not going to stop there, right? Let me try to get this done throughout the whole thing. Or let me do like a small section. Actually, it's not even that far. Check it out. See, where he's dragging there, we don't want him to drag. F6. F6. Control K. F6. F6. Control K. I'm probably going to get in the groove on this. Because eventually, I'm just going to pick up these cycle habits, let's call them. Alright, let's keep them moving here. Now once we get this all laid out, right? Oh, there's a secret movement we haven't seen in here. Let me make sure I caught it. Right here, right here. Right there, we're going to shut him off too. On the bright side, we don't have to reattach the other frame because he's just going to move, right? So we'll stop him there. So that sequence is going to happen after every frame, and then he's going to move. Boom. 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 We'll just go back and do that on every other one. We'll just capture that one in the meantime. But we're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep doing this, and it's going to be fun, and it's not going to harm anybody but the animator. Okay, because we don't want that to do the thing. How is to undo it is Control L. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. They're in the same spot. Same general spot. going to control K here only because we want him to kind of move over when he steps down. And we can F6 again. Control L so he doesn't slide. Do this whole movement again. Control K. All right, boom. So now it's gonna look a little bit more natural. So you check this out. Boom, 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 boom. He's walking in the frame. He's doing his thing. And it's just a lot more natural than that slide movement, right? It doesn't look artificial, so to say. Sorry, I do have to keep an eye on how long I've been streaming just because it is on a little bit of a time constraint. I'm not trying to have 30 billion hours on a YouTube video. Okay, we're in 16 minutes. That's good. That's good. All right. Keep this process going. You're gonna hear me be robotic. You know, if I do this backwards, it'll probably work better. Control K this again because you want to. Yeah, that works way better backwards. Except you do have to do the Control K on this guy. And I fucked that one up. Yeah. Start from here. From this original. like that movement. Okay, that's how I had it. And then the initial movement was so he doesn't slide. I could probably just spread that out. No. Going forward to forward was better. That way I can monitor it. Okay, it was this one. I mean, because when he's floating, he's still kind of picking up the momentum. Okay, I get it. I see what I was doing. Kind of lost track on what I was supposed to be doing. Apologies. And that third one in the mix really fucked me up. But I'm definitely in a groove. I am in a groove now. If anyone knows a secret how to do this, please let me know in the comments, as that would greatly improve my style. My style. This will greatly improve my style. Huh? That's a Mark Zuckerberg from South Park. I am Mark Zuckerberg. I almost sound like Kermit the Frog, but I cannot say that because I will lose copywriting laws. Trying to prove that that is my real voice. The hell? I'll put some like jazz music on. No, it's so cliche because, you know, Portland and all, but kind of want to. Kind of want to. This is why I got a nicer chair. I had this really old fucking janky chair I got from like an old job. And it was destroying my butt, and it was like I went to like a Bang Bros session, you know? And that shit just blew my back out. I was just like, know how these girls do it. I guess when you're paid, it's a little better, right? A bit more worth the time. I don't know, I can't speak for them. It is but a man. But a man in sheep's clothing. So what I do when I'm actually like cutting this off right here is I want this movement still, but I don't want it to be so smooth. I want it to be abrupt so that you see the movement as he takes the step. So let's strip out. See, now he's not sliding across, and he actually moves on that frame, right? Instead of just sliding through the two frames. So see, boom, boom. Once he starts liftoff, that's where we want our keyframe. Boom. Keyframe, control, lose the control. So trip out. Move. Move. See that? And that's why I've been pushing the keyframe thing. It's just like, I need the momentum. I just don't want to have to like estimate it every time. This is the smoothest way I know how to do this. I'm sure there's better ways, but this is one of the smoothest. Sorry, I was talking and I lost track. Huh. Guess the time really flies by when you're having fun, huh? And I am having fun. I do like this. I do like this a lot. Animation's kind of a torture on the body, and it's one of those tortures that I enjoy because I'm a masochist. Mental masochist. Would I be a sadist because I endure this over time? And I put myself through this. Like, me putting myself through this is telling myself, you've been a bad boy. I'm gonna have to teach you a lesson. There we go. I'm just waiting. I'm toughing this out because I want to get to the swash and stretch and show you how awesome that is, because that'll be a little bit easier to go through. So it's every 4. I'm picking up on this. I'm going to stop concentrating on the thing. I'm going to focus more on getting this done. Watch. So I'm seeing the pattern here. It's like it's 4 every other 4 on the every other. So control L here and here, as opposed to just going over again. 4th one, boom, boom. These 2 guys, shut them off. There we go. We'll have a little bit more of a rhythm. Oh yeah, we don't even have that much more. I can get through this. sorry, my phone's been going off. I've been getting these notifications for everything. So apologies if I'm not paying attention to you. I actually ordered some business like supply the other day. It's funny too. One of my friends, she got hacked, and I'm just like, yeah. Part of me thought these messages were real. The other half of me was just like, I accept that our conversation was not valid and that there was some guy that was like probably in his underwear, probably a little funky, a little smelly, probably had lotion on. He was probably really greasy if he wasn't lotioned and moisturized. Anyways, Deadpool and Wolverine, you guys trip out on that? There's some parts that I was like, I feel I missed a lot of it. The writing was kind of whatever, but I like the fact that they hit a lot of those little Easter eggs in there. I try to do that with a lot of my work. Like this one too, like the backgrounds, I'm going to incorporate little things in these backgrounds. So if you're familiar with me as time goes on, you'll be like, oh, I know where that's from, you know? That's from episode 1, 45, where he does the thing and he makes the artistic noise, and I like it very much. Because I am also a Lotus and a fan. I was trying to bring back my Karen voice, or my Plankton voice. I feel like I lost it today. I lost my Plankton voice! Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm really excited about this next project coming out too. I got a Sonic parody we're working on collaboratively, and I'm going through the storyboards here and there. I want to put the first sequence together as a teaser, but I do have to get stuff from my voice actors, who are very, very talented. I'm very fortunate to have come up through these guys, and I'm very happy that they're willing to work with me, as scattered as I could possibly get. You know a lot about that, Frank. Alright, here we go. I'm like debating whether I should go to Montreal too. There's like a whole like not film festival. Well, it is a film festival too, but Jurassic Narc has won a screenplay thing. Well, not won, but we were we'll say second place semifinalist in one of their screenplay notable mentions, so to say. They were like, you should come so you could be there. And I'm like, I kind of do, but Montreal's expensive. Or not Montreal, Toronto. You're thinking of cheese. The bright side of these streams, you know, like you could learn a little something and listen to me be super cringe. Look how close I am to being done, guys. I'm excited. It's like the finish line is almost there. It's like a voyage. Every animation is a voyage. It's just getting through it's the hard part. But once you're through it, it's very rewarding. Now my second animation is going to be fun because he's going to be walking towards the camera, and he's going to be smoking and pull a cigarette out of his little thing. But I'll probably do those in 2 separate sequences. Like this is a very easy, I want to say easy, it's very easy-ish animation. It's got a lot going on. But watch, this is going to look a lot more smoother than the last one. So we start them here, and do our video thing, and then we'll get into the squash and stretch. So as this is setting up, again, I will be having t-shirts online soon. If you haven't checked out the newest stickers, you should give my website, lootconcepts.com, a nice little thing. You know, just a little visit, a little hello. I am also getting ready to have a new batch of stickers. I'd stay up to date on either Patreon or go to my Instagram, man. My Instagram, I've been posting stories about like which ones I should do next, setting up polls, trying to be a little bit more interactive. Times have been a little tiresome, so sometimes I'll take my little 2-day breaks if I need them. This whole gym thing and working out in the shirts is very rewarding in its own, but at the same time, let's get back to this guy. That way I can get to that other squash and stretch part, and we'll see how much better it is. So see this? We have our first walk cycle. We have noted everything so it doesn't look so janky. It's going to look way more natural. See how he has his little pauses? It actually looks like he's walking across the screen instead of just, you know, gliding across. If we wanted to, we can go into those nodes and set the velocity for each of those, so it's kind of like it picks up as it's going. You know, like it'll pick up and move accordingly. It'll just do that ease in, you know, like a rowboat. Now, squash and stretch. This is gonna be fun. This is where that other node comes in handy. Let's say we go here, the sub node. Boom. We're gonna place him down here on his first node, right? Oh wait, did I fix the secondary node? I did not. So we're gonna move this guy right below here, right on center line. I'm gonna do this for the video here. It's gonna go away because I gotta do the coloring, and I'll have to take them off to do the coloring and then reapply them. But we'll do it for now. So here is gonna be his initial squash pose, right? So I'm gonna drop him one little click because I have it on thing. And as he has his foot centered like that, his body's going up. So he's squashing and stretching as he's walking, so it gives him a little bit more. Honestly, I'm starting to see the pattern. So we can copy this guy and throw him here. So he's the same. Boom. And then his high point's going to be here. And then we'll place him here. And then that'll repeat, right? Let me see where that other one is. I want to make it fluid with this. I'm gonna move these markers. That's our start point here. Get rid of this other ones real quick. I just need the 2. I literally just need the 2. It's going to restart here, right? So here would be the start point of that other one. So copy this, paste this guy here. Boom. Keep an eye on those legs. Theoretically, after every one of these, it should repeat. So down. Then his up should be here on the 10th. What we should be able to do is just paste them like this. Check it out. There we go. Yeah, we should be able to post it just like that. And then every little bit we could just copy from here. So we have this thing, this whole thing is a cycle here. We're gonna get even the empty one, right? And we'll do this so they're all connected and they squash and stretch appropriately. I think it was like 14 of them. So if I paste this 14 times, it should go through the whole cycle. So, boom. 14, forward. And then it duplicates them. See that? There's something going on a little funky that I don't like. Let me make sure the cycle's the same from the start point, because I did paste this backwards. Yeah, it should be like this. But I think it's just adding an extra... Here. I think it's adding just like an extra one. That sounds about right. That looks about right. That does look about right. See, add like an extra one where that empty space was. I'm gonna go ahead and add the 14 in here. Pasting a cycle, I think is shift. Yeah. Alright, let's do 14. Okay, that's the lazy way to do it. I should just go in here and make sure they're all like fluid and smooth. So far it's looking like that. 14. No, it looks like we're gonna have to post some more. The original cycle I had to push like 14 from where I left off. So let's try 18. See if that fills it in. Close but no cigarro. I'm gonna post this 25 times. Let's replace it 25 times. See if that gets us across. I should just be good at math, but I tell you, that was a tricky one. That was a doozy. How do I do my taxes? I don't know. I just do them, and they come out however they come out. Be safe. Check out your options there too. It's pretty cool, huh? We'll like forward and reverse them, so it'll reverse them and then forward them again. There's a ton of ways you could do it. Toon is really good with that stuff. Should be more than enough now. Oh yeah, that's more than enough. More than enough. Okay. What we could do is we could stop him here. Deletes. And then we'll have this guy. With another pig we'll just add here just for funsies. Control. And now look how much smoother this looks. He's probably bouncing a little too much, but we could fix it later. Watch. Let's see how it looks on the... no, cancel. Let's see how it looks in the render view. Alright, we're at 45 minutes. That is perfect timing. Our render view is probably going to be a little funky just because it's not, I didn't go through each one and make sure it was where it was supposed to be. But as he walks now, it's starting to look a little bit more natural. I'm liking how it looks. And yeah, check it out now. There he is. See how much more natural that looks with a little squatch and stretch? And here's with audio in case you want to hear what's going on.
On that night, I had never seen Hobbs with such distress in his face. His expression had been as if he had seen a ghost, pale white, piercing through the void of his soul. Like there had been something. On that night, I had never seen Hobbs.
And there it is. I'm glad. Thank you guys for coming out. I will be posting lives regularly, so just follow my socials. You'll see it on one of them, right? And a big thank you to everyone who enjoys, likes, comments, subscribes, all that good stuff, man. I'll catch you later.